In this video, I want to give you more information about the dyslexic brain. When you get a dyslexia diagnosis for your child, the education process for parents can feel extremely overwhelming as you try to understand what is occurring in the dyslexic brain of your child. I'm here to put it in layman's terms. Dyslexia is a language processing disorder, and it's a deficit in the phonological processing of the brain. So what's phonological processing? It's basically every subskill needed for effective reading and writing acquisition, anywhere from appropriately hearing sounds, segmenting sounds, manipulating sounds, to attaching that letter name and sound, through to your brain recognizing letter patterning in words without a ton of explicit instruction, which is an issue since not a lot of explicit instruction occurs in these areas in the classroom. A typical reader uses 3 parts of their brain to read. Phonological processing occurs in 2 of those 3 parts. So someone with dyslexia is only working on 1 cylinder. It doesn't mean that a child can't read. It just means that they're using the wrong part of their brain to read. And this guy wasn't intended to work without those other 2 on reading. When they're solely relying on this guy, someone with dyslexia is doing compensated reading. They're reading based on memorization and context, literally often seeing words as pictures, which is one of the reasons that sight words are often transposed, since they can have similar shapes, links, and even start with the same letter. Think of it, is, in. A child with dyslexia can also apply the concept of decoding like they were taught in school, but it can overtax that working memory. Here's an example that might be really simplistic. Sounding out the word cat. K-a-t. By the time they make it to t, they work so hard to get through that word that they may have forgotten the beginning part and they just substitute in another word that makes sense in context, or it starts with a C. This is why they decode cat on one line and then they have to decode it again on the next line. And if your child can get through the process of decoding and correctly identifying the word, they've consumed all of their working memory on decoding and they don't have any space left over for comprehension. The reason you pursue working with a highly trained dyslexia expert like a certified academic language therapist is to work on creating new neural pathways in your child's brain in these areas of the brain so that we can get all 3 of the brains working in tandem like a neurotypical reading brain. We're literally moving from the reading from one side of the brain to the other. This is completely achievable, and it isn't a newfangled process. It's a technique that has been around for time, and it has been highly researched. The elements required for this to happen are, first, a highly trained expert in dyslexia, such as a CALT. Second, multisensory instruction, meaning Orton-Gillingham. 3, explicit instruction, meaning we teach the why behind everything, explicit patterning, explicit spelling rules, explicit syllabication. Another word for this is structured literacy. 4, it has to be presented in a systematic presentation order that is cumulative and builds. And 5, it must be high repetition, since that's what the dyslexic brain needs. When you implement an evidence-based program with fidelity and adjust that program to be tailored to the specific needs of that child, the development of these new neural pathways occurs. Know that experienced professionals, such as those at Dyslexia On Demand, are available to help to guide you in making the important decisions to guarantee learning success for your child. For more information or to schedule a personal meeting with me, please go to dyslexiaondemand.com to learn more about how you can help your child. Also, please like and follow us to see more videos like this as they're released.